Flashback.
Twitter shadow banning prominent Republicans. It's bad. Is that true?
No.
There is no such thing as
shadow ban.
You are fake news.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You might say better and better, but honestly, it's kinda worse and worse. The Twitter files continue this time with the Twitter files part 2, Twitter's secret blacklists. And once again, it turns out that we were right. They kept calling us wacky, deranged, kooky conspiracy theorists, that there was no plot to censor and shadow ban conservatives. You conservatives are just so deeply unpopular. It's natural. Hey, it's natural. Well, it turns out not so much. It turns out that once again, everything the left and especially the leftist news was reporting on, or I guess what they were declaring in their fact checks, was total BS. The amount of times Jack Dorsey and the rest of these Twitter clowns and the rest of these media experts and fact-checking experts told us explicitly that there is no shadow banning system, there's no search ban, there's no bias against conservatives built into the algorithms. Well, I've lost count of the amount of times. Well, it turns out, thanks to Elon Musk, that is exactly what was happening at Twitter, and no longer is it a theory. We once again have the evidence. We have the receipts. Once again, no longer a conspiracy theory, but rather a corrupt deep state conspiracy. Let me show you guys what's going on, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so just like I said, the Twitter Files Part 2, Twitter's secret blacklists. A new hashtag Twitter Files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees built blacklists to prevent disfavored tweets from trending and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. Twitter once had a mission to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Along the way, barriers nevertheless were erected. Take, for example, Stanford's Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, who argued that lockdowns would harm children. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. As you guys can see right over here in the picture, recent abuse strike, trends blacklist. Or consider the popular right-wing talk show host Dan Bongino, who at one point was slapped with a search blacklist. Verified active, notification spike, search blacklist. Not exactly sure what notification spike means, but I'm assuming that the notification system is suppressed, meaning his tweets are not being sent out to people who not only follow him but have clicked the bell to activate notifications. And Dan Bongino was search blacklisted with 0 strikes. To make it even worse, here's Charlie Kirk, verified active, recent abuse strike, notification spike, do not amplify, not safe for work view. Here's user at Libs of TikTok, high profile, active, notification spike, and trends blacklist. The frustration is over because there's no longer a discussion or an argument. You know that feeling when you know something to be true, it's incredibly obvious, you point out the obvious facts, and you try to draw attention to it. Hey, people, pay attention, look at what's happening, it's obvious, and people tell you you're crazy and you have no idea what you're talking about. Well, that frustration is over. This has been obvious from the start. The moment Elon Musk took over at Twitter, interactions on my tweets increased tenfold. You mean to tell me that that's just a coincidence? That all of a sudden people are coming to Twitter more so than ever before? I'm sure that's a factor, but 10 times? No way. Something changed immediately as Elon Musk took over. Twitter employees probably frantic, quickly trying to hide the evidence or revert all the changes that they've made over the years, knowing that Elon Musk wouldn't stand for it. Or maybe it had something to do with the fact that half the trust and safety team, or maybe even the majority of the trust and safety team, resigned or were fired basically a week after he took over. There's no more big group of green, blue hair, septum ring leftoids policing speech on the platform. This stuff isn't a conspiracy theory. It's not right-wing MAGA chuds complaining about the censorship boogeyman. It's actually happening and we can see it. We know it's true. For years. For the first 2 years of my YouTube channel, maybe even longer than that actually, when you watched a Liberal Hive Mind video, what followed was never another Liberal Hive Mind video. I make 3 videos every day, sometimes 2, sometimes sometimes one depending on whether I need a break or not. And so you'd think that if I'm releasing 3 videos in a day, that if people are watching my content, they'd watch one and then YouTube would recommend the next one, the next release for the day, but that never happened. And not even some of my most popular and most viral videos. And it wasn't just me, it was basically every single conservative, independent commentator on the platform. You'd watch their video and then the next thing that would pop up was a Fox News video or maybe a Sky News video. Well, only recently has that changed. Let's also not forget after January 6th, my video views just randomly overnight got cut in half. I went from getting millions of video impressions a day to getting less than 1 million overnight. It just happened overnight. There was a switch in the algorithm and my channel was shadow banned. Eventually that shadow ban was lifted, but I know that it was real. And nobody's gonna tell me that, oh, I'm just a deranged MAGA chud with some conspiracy theory that the YouTube censors are coming after me. I know that it happened. I also know that guys like me are censored from the search option. I'm the biggest YouTube channel with the word liberal in it. And if you write liberal, I'm nowhere to be found. If you write liberal space H, what always pops up, and I've said this many times, is liberal Hindu, or some of the other options, liberal Hindu latest, liberal Hindu espionage, liberal heckler, liberal hegemony, liberal handgun ban, anything but liberal hive mind. You mean to tell me that that's organic? Then my YouTube channel that gets anywhere from 12 to 25 million video views a month just isn't showing up on the search results? And there's a couple months where people were searching liberal hive mind and my videos weren't popping up at all. Instead, it was a bunch of small no-name YouTube channels who were getting like 200 views on their videos, supposedly exposing me. People with like 500 views on their video, and then you had to scroll all the way down the search to be able to see my videos. Now I'm going on and on about my personal experience here, and it's not to complain about my video views or my reach on the platform because I'm totally content. Honestly, you could cut my channel in half and I'd still be very happy with what I'm doing here. I'm not looking to be the biggest guy on the platform, but what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to add context to the fact that this stuff is real and that it's obvious. There is a concerted effort in what I believe to be a widespread collusion conspiracy involving big tech platforms, the government, FBI, as we've already seen the connection, to censor conservative thought. It brings us back to mod democracy that Democrats are going on about. Does this seem like democracy? The one thing that I always point to, censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop, that was one thing, but I don't think it's the most significant. I think the most significant election interference scam is just the baseline algorithm in general, because in order to get exposed to conservative thought, you have to expose yourself to it. Back in the early days of social media, you just got whatever was trending, things were popping up from both sides, and you'd be able to make your decision. There was a lot of people who were apolitical or not necessarily paying attention, and during the election season, they were exposed to ideas on both sides, and therefore they could make an informed decision. But after 2016, as Trump hysteria kicked in, something changed, and all of a sudden the algorithms were being used to benefit the Democrat Party. All of a sudden, when you went on Twitter, it was beyond just censorship of a particular story like the Hunter Biden laptop story. It was suppression of conservative thought and promotion of left-wing activism. And this has a major impact because there's a whole lot of people who aren't paying attention. This is what I always say. There's a whole lot of people who are busy, and that's not a bad thing. Not everybody can be tuned into all the drama and all the political nonsense that's going on every day, and of course tuned into policy and bills and what's being passed and, what are the outcomes and the economic consequences and results of decisions made by government. And that's probably the majority of people. People who I don't necessarily want to call uninformed, because I'm sure they're informed in whatever field they exist in, but people who are politically uninformed, people who aren't paying attention as much. And those people, well, that's the majority of the population, a significant portion, if not the most significant portion of society. Those are the people who are being manipulated. The algorithms are purposely made up to target those people with left-wing information and never expose them to counter thought. And this is the smoking gun. This is the proof. The Hunter Biden laptop story was just an element of this greater macro experience by these tech platforms. I mean, we saw the polling data. There's a significant portion of the American electorate that had no idea the Hunter Biden laptop story even existed. And a significant portion of those people said that they wouldn't have voted for Biden if they were made aware of that topic. Well, how many more topics are there? How much fake news have people been exposed to involving the former president, Donald Trump? The algorithms are set up in a way to form and manipulate people's thoughts, to turn them into good little Democrats. It's an absolute disgrace. It's anti-democratic. It's corrupt, and honestly, it should be illegal, and it's happening. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's fact, and we have the receipts. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.